All right, welcome everyone to Old Heads and Young Minds, where experience meets new perspective. And today, we are coming to you with episode 3 of our podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you go check out episode 1 and 2. But this episode, we will be talking about relationships and dating. You know, this is a hot topic throughout the world, so definitely something needs to be talked about. So let's touch on it today. And let's start here. Let's start with, how was dating back then versus now? What are the differences you notice?
The differences I'm noticing back then, the places you were able to go limited, and now you have much more of a variety, but as far as what you're looking for, and if you have the mindset of furthering your relationship, I guess it'd be pretty much the same, because you're checking out the individual, and learning them, they're learning you and their views on different, perspectives and your views, and see how well they line up, so as far as the individual is concerned, they'll be pretty much the same, but the ideas that they have in mind and the quickness they're ready to involve intimacy and sex and all, that's definitely different. Back in my days, that we knew that was down the road. We didn't go on dates expecting that or looking for that, because it didn't happen nearly as fast as it does now.
Right. Now it's kind of like an expectation. It's like.
Yeah.
It's like, if we're not doing that, then we don't need to be together. I feel like things changed a lot, from my point of view, the way I see it, especially looking at like you and Mama and seeing y'all relationship. Y'all been together 30-some years, and it's been a strong relationship since the start for the most part. I mean, y'all had y'all shaky moments, of course, all relationships do, but y'all work through them, and everything is strong and solid. Y'all got a strong foundation, and everything has been that way since. So
that's because our relationship, honestly, was built on love.
Yeah.
I met your mama at church. I got to know her and her family. A year or two before we even thought about. We never even thought we'd be dating. Mostly because I was spiritually mindseted. I was a junior deacon, and I felt the calling of the ministry, but I wanted to weigh it out. And then I was 4 years older than your mom, so I never imagined I'd be dating her, but it worked out that way, and I'm glad about it. It evolved, to that. And her parents welcomed me and gave me a chance, and everything turned out okay, But I mean, I can honestly say, a little bit before we started dating, I fell in love with your mom.
Yeah.
I was really impressed by her seriousness and maturity, single-mindedness. She really was into me. And I had dated so many women, grown women, that I was just one of their options.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But with your mom, I was a total focus. She wanted me, and she made it known. And that sustained relationship. Eventually it made me want her. All that kind of stuff. So
definitely. I think that's very essential. That being a relationship being built off love, that's very important. I mean, that's what a relationship is. It's like, it's about loving each other. And since you did mention that, what do you think relationships are built off now?
Lust. And see, lust is tricky because for a person that's never been in love, lust feels like love.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a feeling that you rarely have. You know, you hadn't really felt before, and it makes you want something bad, and so you think because of that desire, it's love. You know, but you find out, of course, after you indulge in it a little while, and then you really get to know that person, the real person, that maybe it wasn't love. You know, it was just desire because, you know, how the body looked or how attractive they were, or something like that. You know, so really that's the trickery of relationships, is you think it's love, you know, but then of course you got some guys, I would imagine the same thing with women, but you know, you got some guys who master the game, and you know, they know it's not love, and but they still play on it because the female, you know, is hoping to do the right thing, and she thinks it's love, so they play on that, you know, to get where they're trying to go. But if it's not, the foundation of a relationship is not love, it's seldom will you make it. I hear so many people, so many podcasts and different, you know, broadcasts talk about how do you get your woman to do this, and my woman won't do this, won't say this, and all this kind of stuff, you know. And they actually have, you know, people, counselors and all. If you got to trick your woman or beg your woman into doing certain things or acting a certain way, that woman don't love you. I rarely have I even had to ask my wife anything. It just comes with the territory, you know. She gives to me like I give to her, and whatever she senses I need, she gives it up without me even asking. You know, I like, say for instance, and I don't want to jump the gun, but sexual favors. We've been married 34 years, and I told my wife from the beginning, if that's not a priority for her, if she's not in the mood, if she's not feeling it, then let's not do it. I'm not asking you to indulge me, you know, and allow me to fool with you physically and all that kind of stuff while you lay there. I want you to want me,
right?
And that was make me want you.
Yep.
And if you're not in the mood to want me or want me to please you that night or whatever, then I don't care. You can use whatever excuse you want, headache, backache, whatever. If you don't want me, I don't want you.
Yeah.
You know, what makes me want you is because I feel the urge that you want me too.
Yeah.
You know, and so all this stuff, you know, they don't have sex enough, and I need her to have more sex, and she won't do this, and she won't. It's because it's not built on love. And a woman that loves you will do whatever you need her to do for you because she loves you. You know, no other reason at all that my man needs this, and I love him, and I'm going to do whatever he needs me to do to make him happy. That's it in a you know, question. But nowadays they try to figure out ways to trick them and talk them into doing this, and favors for one another, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
I definitely agree. I don't believe in either. You mentioned some red flags. I was actually going to ask you, you know, about different, you know, things that you could look out for to tell, you know, if, you know, what it is, love, lust, you know what I mean? And you mentioned some of those, you know, the way people talk about, oh, it's like they try to make a manual for how things should go, and you know, stuff like that. It's just like, it doesn't even make any sense. You could just tell it's not built off love, you know, just by, if you really pay attention, you know what I mean? But a lot of people get lost in that feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sex is a powerful thing, and once you have sex, you know, y'all are pretty much connected. You become one in a way, you know? And like, it's a dangerous thing to play with, you know. The Bible says sex is like fire, you know.
There you go.
And what happens when you feel the fire? It just gets bigger and bigger, and you got a wildfire.
That's
you know?
right. And so once you involve sex in a relationship, you need a live-in fireman. So whenever you get on fire, all you got to do is roll over and ask the fireman to put it out. You ain't got to call down to the station and ask for them to send the firemen
Right.
and that kind of stuff, you know, and pick out. Do y'all have Italian firemen? Do y'all have black firemen? No, you know, you already married your fireman, and all you gotta do is roll over and you let your fireman put out the fire.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. You know, but they have steered away from that nowadays. You know, they just want the action. You know, they don't want what all involved with meeting needs. See, love is an action word.
Yeah.
And that involves meeting needs. And believe me, a woman has more needs than sex.
Definitely.
Sex is one of them, but she has more needs, way more needs than sex.
For sure.